In the next assignment, you're going to be using the equation editor. The equation editor is actually fairly easy to use, kind of handy. It allows you to have very professional looking mathematical documents. And the way you use it, if you go to Insert, Equation, you have equation editor tools here. If you want to use the Greek letters, if you want to use mathematical symbols, if you want to use your set notation and your inequalities, and you have mathematical symbols that require like operations, and also you have your arrows. So if you're doing logic, so if I want to do a square root, I can just select square root, type in a square root, okay, and I can do to get in. You can use your arrow keys inside, and to get out of it, you just hit the right arrow to get out, and then you can say, for example, equals 5, but we want that to be plus or minus 5 because both will give us a square. So if we go to the mathematical symbols, we get plus or minus 5. Now you can see that there's a little, you can see the little blue box around. Went a little bit too much. Little blue box around it means that you're in the editor. You'll notice this shows up here, and when I get out of it, you notice that you don't have it. So right arrow or left arrow, we're in. Right arrow, we're out of it. If I want to create a new equation, now that we can go to insert equation again, but since we just used it, they do leave the tool on here. And now I get the little blue box again. And this time maybe I want to have alpha divided by beta equals fraction alpha right arrow beta. So the right arrow key allows us to, again, navigate through. When we're done with the fraction, we hit the right arrow one more time, and now we type. Now it is weird because you don't see the cursor. You don't see the cursor. Now the cursor is at the beta, the right arrow. Don't see the cursor, but if I were to type or insert something else, for example, theta, it shows up. If I want to do exponent, so again, new equation, x, here's my exponent. Okay, now notice that I did the exponent, but it doesn't go on the x. I actually have to type in. Now I can put an exponent next to it. So you have to do the exponent, or you have to do the selection before you type anything. So if I had a subscript and a superscript, y, right arrow 1, right arrow 2. So that would be y sub 1 squared. I can also do, let's say, we have our large parentheses. Now, I can also use key combinations. For example, if I want to do an exponent, that's something that's used quite a bit. So I can just say x caret 2, right arrow equals y. Okay. If I want to do inequalities, the equation, y less than or equal to 3x minus 4. I want to do a volume. I might say volume is equal to length times width times height. If I want to do a larger fraction, I might want to say, now this would be something that I would use in statistics, that z, insert equation, z is equal to the fraction. Again, we do the fraction beforehand. X minus mu divided by sigma. Okay, so you can have complex fractions. or fractions with different, or not complex, but fractions that have multiple terms in them. New equation. So standard deviation, which would be sigma. Sigma is equal to the square root of, now we have this sigma, fraction, parentheses, x, I gotta do x sub I, right arrow, I, right arrow, minus x bar, in parentheses, right arrow, in parentheses, caret 2, right arrow, n. That's to be a capital N. Now this went outside of my radical. I lost my square there. So again, my right arrow gets me back and forth. Caret 2. I want this fraction to go inside of, inflect it, cut it, go inside, paste it, and now my radical goes along with it. Now I don't expect you to do everything I did here. I was just wanting to give you some demo, but it's new equation. Whatever thing we want, you pick out of here. For example, if I want an nth degree, I put that's 3 and then put 27. That's cube root of 27. Hit the right arrow to get out of it. Equals 3. Now this isn't plus or minus 3 because it has to be a positive 3 in order to get that. I also have the not equal sign. So that is essentially how you use the equation editor. Complete the formula list I show you. If you're interested in more things, I will post some different key combinations. For example, slash and E gives us, then hit the spacebar gives us the not equal sign. Slash choose gives us our NCR, or nChooseR. I'm doing I'm doing a fraction. I don't want to go up to the fraction thing. I can type slash back. Notice this is the backslash. FRAC. Hit the space. That gives me a fraction. 3, 4. So there are a bunch of different key combinations. I have a list of them that I've found. I will post them with the assignment if you were interested in seeing them. And so 7.2 is doing this assignment.